One of the most surprising and pleasant aspects of the Nintendo Switch is the sheer number of ways players can use the system. You can use it as a console, as a portable, in split-screen mode, with the systems connected wirelessly, and there are games that use 4 Joy-Con controllers if you want to play against friends. Just imagine how useful it could be to just buy a secondary or even tertiary dock so you can bring your console to different rooms and use it on another display. The potential is there for a fairly great experience. However, there is a glaring issue that plagues every accessory for the Switch system. Let's break it down by beginning with the dock. Ask yourself, the dock can't be that expensive by itself, right? It's $90. I'm going to repeat this. It's $90. What the living hell? That's your first sign that this beast is going to substantially dent the bank account. I checked Twitter to see if I was being obtuse, and I quickly learned that I was not alone in my concern and frustration. There seems to be some serious pushback from others about the price of these accessories. You see, when you purchase the Switch, included is the tablet, a Nintendo Switch dock, a power adapter, and an HDMI cable. The left or right Joy-Con controllers can be purchased for $49.99 each. That's only one half of a standard controller for $50. Keep in mind that each controller has slightly different functionality, they're not all the same. A bundle of both controllers is $79.99. There are some people out there saying that the controllers and accessories are chock full of technology and fun stuff, and these prices are understandable, but the tone of Nintendo's event may actually be working against it in this regard. It is promoted as if it were a toy, and Nintendo turns around and charges these prices for accessories. Wish to combine your Joy-Con controllers in a configuration that resembles a typical gamepad? Well, that will cost you extra. The Joy-Con grip will run you $29.99. This hefty price tag has accomplished one thing. This has established the Joy-Con as the most expensive standard console controller of all time. Congratulations, Nintendo, you did it. Nintendo is also making it seem like extra controllers are just a nice and friendly thing you should have laying around. Not at those prices, Nintendo. You're out of your mind. Want a Pro controller, which is basically a standard controller for the Switch? Yeah, that will run you $69.99. You'll probably want to spend the money on a Switch Pro controller, which is laid out like an Xbox One gamepad with offset analog sticks and the familiar cross-style D-pad. This is going to be a hard sell, especially considering the hidden costs. The Nintendo Switch is launching March the 3rd for $299.99, plus the expense of getting started. But getting started is the operative phrase here. While you could get by with consoles like the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One without feeling like you needed to buy accessories at launch, the Switch is a bit different. Multiplayer gaming on the Switch is a major push for Nintendo. And it's not always going to be as simple as asking friends to bring their own Joy-Con controllers. We've put together a list of items that Switch owners may want to buy to complete their setup. Spoiler alert, it's not going to be cheap. The Switch comes with just 32 gigabytes of built-in storage. And the console reserves an unknown portion of the flash memory for system use. If you want to buy a digital copy of The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, you'll need 13.4 gigabytes of free space. This accounts for a whopping 41.9% of the total storage space. And that's without accounting for the unavailable reserved storage. Think about that for a minute. So, unless you want to buy physical copies of every Switch game, you're going to want to expand the system's storage capabilities. The Switch contains a micro SD card slot that's hidden behind the kickstand. The Switch comes with a pair of Joy-Con controllers in the box. for multiplayer gaming. Additional gamepads are necessary for local multiplayer gaming on any console. But $79.99 for 2 extra Joy-Cons is a lot more than $39.99 for, say, a second Xbox One controller. Don't forget the Joy-Con grip. That's an added $29.99. Finally, we'll need a game. Sure, games aren't technically a hidden cost of buying a console. But it's worth noting that unlike the Wii and Wii U, the Switch doesn't come with a game. Instead, a game that appears like it would have been well suited as a pack-in, titled 1-2 Switch, a minigame collection that seems mediocre, will be a $49.99 boxed product. And full-price titles will cost the usual $59.99. Even rehashes of previously released titles will run you $59.99. Games like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and even Splatoon, to a certain extent, have been available for a considerable amount of time and can be purchased for next to nothing for the Wii U. Feel like throwing down $60 on a title you've already enjoyed and probably already own? I don't think so. Players would have had to be incentivized to purchase any of these games, but they were touted as basically released titles for the Switch, yet there's no incentive for anyone to buy them again. Okay, let's see where we stand with all of this. $299.99 for the console. $79.99 for a pair of Joy-Con controllers. $29.99 for the Joy-Con grip. $59.99 for a game. $9.99 for a screen protector. That's $479.95. Figure in tax, at say, 8%. And we have a grand total of $518.35. I would like for you to think about this for a moment. Are you going to allow your $500 console to be packed around to school, to work, or to the park to be assaulted by your cupcake pals? Absolutely not. Finally, our Canadian friends are even more screwed. Take a look for yourself. It's absolutely insane. Let's face it, Nintendo continues on its downward spiral. This is a company that has yet to realize that their new gimmicks aren't working. Nintendo should have, at least, by now realized that Waggle technology is derided upon by the mass populace of gamers, yet they added it to the Switch. They failed to realize that when you name a console too similarly, it is doomed to fail during its launch period. The company also refuses to acknowledge that by making its consoles purposely weaker than the rest, they are basically killing any chances of it receiving a variety of third-party titles. To break it down, it goes like this: Nintendo creates a new, but noticeably weaker console for the market. Third-party developers create ports or weak games for the console. Few fans buy these games because of said weaknesses. Third parties complain their games aren't selling. Nintendo creates awesome games for their own console, and as a result, fans start only buying these games instead. Third parties stop producing games on Nintendo console and fans complain about lack of third-party titles. Nintendo starts working on new console as the last one stops garnering interest. Repeat steps 1 through 9. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you found this to be interesting, please like, share, and subscribe. While at it, post your thoughts on this and whatever else is on your mind below. If you like the social media thing, you can link to us via the standard allotted social sites in the description. Have a great day, guys.
Bag of good and a bunch of twists, cause everyone too tough to be rocking like this. So come on, shake the load up, come on, shake loose your stress. I got a busy yak and I can't miss my chance, cause shorty looking too good with the way she dance. So come on, shake the load up, come on. shake loose your stress. Write a tune with the mood I'm in. Every day is a grind and I grind to win. Can't play the violin, so the sad song is over. Plus the orchestra ain't taking applications from a soldier. I'ma show you in the world too. I can make